Have you ever felt like someone lied to you? Now imagine if you could catch a lie in just seconds, without any argument or gadget, inside. How powerful would that feel, right? According to research, most people lie every single day. Sometimes it's something small, like hiding the truth about being late, and sometimes it's bigger, like covering up something important. That's why spotting a lie isn't just curiosity, it's a way to protect yourself. If you learn how to spot it, you can save yourself from a lot of unnecessary problems. Now think about this. How many times have you ignored your gut feeling? If you had paid attention, maybe you could have avoided an uncomfortable situation. First of all, don't ask broad questions, like, "How was last night?" People can easily dodge that. Instead, try asking open-ended questions with a subtle negative assumption. For example, "What kept you out so late last night?" Now notice what happens. This forces them to give details, and the more details they give, the easier it becomes to notice gaps or inconsistencies. Here's another trick that pros use. The first 5 seconds after you ask a question are the most important. Watch their tone, gestures, and small pauses carefully. If you see 1 or 2 unusual signals, it might be normal. But if you notice 2 or more signs at the same time, that's called a cluster, and that's usually a strong signal of a lie. Now, another important step is understanding their baseline. First, observe how they behave during normal conversations, their tone, posture, and eye contact. That's their natural behavior. Then, when you move to a sensitive topic, if they stop making eye contact or start fidgeting more than usual, that's a red flag. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how someone starts acting differently even on a simple question? Like suddenly raising their voice, touching their face, or their facial expressions changing? Another trick is ask the same thing in different ways. For example, first ask, "You went to the gym yesterday, right?" And then later ask, "What workout did you do yesterday?" If their story changes, you already know what's going on. Also, pay attention to the words they use. Words like "I think" or "maybe" are small hints. They give them room to escape if they get caught. And if someone suddenly switches the topic, that usually means they're uncomfortable and trying to hide something. Here's a subtle trick. Add a small fake detail. For example, you said Tuesday, but the store was closed, right? If they're telling the truth, they'll correct you immediately. But if they're lying, they'll most likely go along with it. Also, ask timing questions like, "What time did you leave?" and "When did you get there?" If the timeline doesn't match, something is off. Now, just imagine this. Catching a lie before it even fully happens. How powerful would that feel? Everyone lies differently, but if you combine these techniques with your gut feeling, you can instantly spot deception. Just remember, observe carefully, ask smart questions, and don't let yourself get fooled.